What would you do if you found one of the grossest, most terrifying items you've ever found at a thrift store? We're gonna find out today. Here we go, y'all, buckle up. Yeah, everyone, welcome into the channel. It's November 6, 2023, Monday again, and this is probably one of the most terrifying, gross, weird, creepy thrift store finds you will ever see. And of course, what better place for it to happen than here in my home state, the great state of Florida. Where else would it happen, right? So in the city of North Fort Myers, which is about 2 hours south of me. You'll remember Fort Myers from 2 years ago, year before last, when Hurricane Ian pretty much destroyed Fort Myers. Very sad thing. But in a thrift store in North Fort Myers, apparently back on its feet, a human skull was discovered in the store for sale in the Halloween decoration section. Yeah, that's right, guys. It was supposedly found on the shelf by an anthropologist, not an everyday customer, but an anthropologist who recognized that it may not be your everyday run-of-the-mill holiday decorative skull, but rather a human skull. And the sheriff's office and the medical examiners were, of course, contacted, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Now, they have already said there doesn't seem to be any suspicious circumstances and that it might be historical. This actually happened a few months ago in Goodyear, Arizona. There was also a skull that ended up in a Goodwill thrift store that was donated in a box, which is odd. But that turned out to be some very historical, old, non-suspicious skull, and it had no value. So I guess they just disposed of it however you dispose of a human skull. And this may be the same circumstances, especially after this whole hurricane thing. If you're not familiar here in Florida, at least here in the Tampa area, we dodge a lot of hurricanes, and there's a rumor that it's because we're protected by the curse of the Seminole Indians. We have a lot of Seminole Indians here. We have a Seminole Hard Rock Casino, and we have a lot of burial grounds that were actually discovered under high schools and colleges. So there's been discussions that could play a part in it. Well, no word yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to lean on pretty freaking weird, right? How does a skull, how does a human head end up in a thrift store? Just as a side note, you guys, I forgot when I was making this video to mention that the store owner of this thrift store noted that the skull was actually originally from a storage unit they had bought several years back. So that's where it originated for, and that's where it came from. And how does the person who is putting that out for sale, the decorations for sale, not realize that there's something a little off, something a little different about said scale? So that's the story from here in Florida. Florida man, right? Florida thrift store man, we'll call it. Anyways, a human skull found at a thrift store in North Fort Myers. That's here on the Gulf Coast, about 2 hours south of Tampa. You can look it up on the map. I might put a little screenshot here for you. But apparently doing just well after the thrift store, or after the hurricane rather. The thrift store is open and selling human skulls. So be careful what you look for in the thrift store next time you go. What's the weirdest thing any of you have ever found in a thrift store or estate sale or yard sale? Put it down in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you guys, and appreciate you watching the video. If you could hit that like button, it would mean a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel. You don't miss future videos. And as always, check out that description box for important links, including my listing service, ProEcommercelister. It's at its cheapest price ever until the sale ends tonight, $1.11 per listing. Go check it out. No discount code needed. www.proecommercelister.com. You upload photos, we make the listings for you. And until the next video, everyone, I will see you later.